In this video, we're going to be going over some of the steps, 3 steps that can help you with your eBay business right now. Have you ever wondered how to get started on eBay? Or maybe you have an eBay store and you just don't know where to start. Well, we're going to be covering those 3 steps that can help you really lay a foundation for your eBay business so it can set you up for success in the long run. And before we get into the slides here, I just wanted to share with you the principle of management that much is attracted to the effective management of little. So if you just manage that $100 in your bank account and then don't go spend it on things that aren't important and things that you may not need right now, you can build that cash flow up. More will be attracted to that $100. But if we mismanage the $100 that we have, what makes you think that anything will be attracted to that? So remember that much is attracted to the effective management of little. Maybe you have a little eBay store right now and you want to grow it big and you want to hit the big times, right? But you need to manage that little store now to be able to grow it into something substantial. So everyone wants get rich quick. Everyone wants it now. I want it now. I don't want to wait. But if you're trying to build an eBay business that can set you up for a career or a massive multi-million dollar business, it starts today and it starts with managing the little that you have now. If you have a huge store and you didn't manage the little and you were able to grow it into something 10, 20, 30,000 items, you need to be able to manage the little or else you will lose. Whatever you mismanage, you will lose. So if you do hit the big times quick, just make sure that you can manage, because if you can't, you will lose it. So I just want to make that clear as a principle going forward in today's talk, that you really need to master the art of management to be able to set up a successful business in anything. Manage your relationships, manage your life, manage your time to the best that you can, and you will find that much more will be attracted to your effective management. So let's get into the slides here. I just wanted to touch the basis of what really changed for me and what really made it click for me to be able to focus on these things that we're going to talk about today, to be able to grow a 5,000 item eBay store from zero within 2 years. So let's get right into the slides. I think that this is going to be really helpful for you as you're starting your eBay journey. And if you have been doing eBay for a while, I believe that there is something in here for you that you can apply for your business as well. So eBay basics. The 3 things we're talking about are the main things that are really important when you start your eBay stores. How to start sourcing inventory, how to store your inventory, and having dedicated areas to be able to work, to be able to process. You got to have that set up to be able to grow on eBay. So, how to start sourcing inventory. Everyone's question that they should ask themselves when they are starting on eBay is, where am I going to get my product? Everyone starts out as an everything seller, which is great and nothing's wrong with that. And you could stay like that if you'd like. So, starting with selling some items around the house, starting with selling items that you're not using, even asking friends and family, hey, I'll take anything extra that you're not using or sitting in your closet and I'll buy it from you. So there's ways to start right away without having to answer this question immediately, but you need to start thinking in your mind, how am I going to start getting inventory to be able to funnel in through eBay? So let's check out what we have going on here. We have the Goodwill outlet and the Goodwill bins. Everyone should be familiar with this term if you are a new reseller or an old reseller. The Goodwill outlet should be an alternative source for you to get product, whether you're paying people to source for you a flat fee or a flat per pound rate, or you yourself are going to the Goodwill outlet and individually picking each item, which is a great way to start if you're new. Then you could start mastering the brands and the material and all these things that go into picking each item by hand. And as you master your craft in the niche that you want to go down on eBay, you're able to find items at the Goodwill outlet in the Goodwill bins that most people just discard. So that repetition is going to help you become a master in your niche. So the Goodwill outlet and Goodwill bins are not available to everyone in the United States, though we'll touch on that later. So asking friends and family. See, when I first got started reselling, I immediately started telling friends and family, hey, we're starting a reselling business. And you should have seen how many people from just friend of a friend of a friend going, oh, I have a storage unit. I have a closet. I have a house full of stuff that, hey, let's make a deal. So just making it aware and known to the people that are around you in your relationships, your friends, your family, is getting an idea of like, oh, okay, they resell. I've got this full of clothing. I got this full of toys, electronics. Everyone seems to have a closet full of something. So that can be a great way to get inventory for free or pennies on the dollar when you're first getting started. So make sure you reach out to any friends and family. Posting Facebook ads in buy and sell groups, in local buy and sell groups. So this is free. And not every buy and sell group can allow for you to post an ad. So I just say join as many as you can in your local area and create a simple ad on Canva. Hey, we buy clothes. Hey, we buy electronics. We buy shoes, and add in there a brand list. So say, hey, I buy this and I'm looking for these specific brands. Reach out to me if you're interested. And you would be surprised on the amount of people that are looking to get rid of their, you know, extra wardrobe or pair of shoes that they have in the closet. Or maybe you might hit it big and might find a storage unit full of clothing where people just end up hoarding items. They end up paying for storage unit fees for items that become, worthless to them but very valuable to a reseller. So posting ads in local buy and sell groups, typically groups that are more than 5, 10,000 people, is going to really help you with your sourcing and being able to find items for very cheap. And not a lot of people are doing this too. Garage sales and estate sales. So this is a pretty known one when it comes to reselling, finding items at garage sales and estate sales. I only add it in there because I see it as an alternative source to get inventory, not a main source. Because if it is your main source, not everyone lives in an area where garage sales are happening all the time. Not a lot of people have access to an abundance of estate sales. So if you can add this into a way of sourcing, whether you pay someone to go to garage sales and estate sales for you, or you yourself go out there, you can find items for very cheap. Also, another strategy can be when garage sales and estate sales are ending, you can reach out to the person that is hosting that event and say, hey, I will buy all of your clothing for X amount of dollars, or I will buy all of your electronics for X amount of dollars. Number one is the people don't want to hire a junk removal service to come and clean up when the estate sale is over. And number two is people don't want to have to load up all the stuff that didn't sell and take it to the Goodwill or the St. Vincent's. So you're able to maybe build a relationship with someone that may be doing garage sales and estate sales on a regular basis, and then have them as a source in your back pocket whenever you may need extra inventory. So storage unit auctions are another way. There's multiple websites online. You may have to check them to verify if they're authentic, but go to local storage unit auctions online and look up all of the ones in your state, and you'll be surprised on how many auctions are currently going for storage units. I sell pre-owned men's and women's clothing, so a lot of the times these auctions are set to $10, $20, $30 for units full of clothing. Storage unit auctions are typically people that are not looking for clothing. So for me, and if you resell clothing, that can be a great way to find inventory for very cheap. Though be prepared to discard whatever you do not want. And usually you have a 24-hour turnaround time when you do storage unit auctions. Means you need to get it cleaned out within 24 hours or you'll be subject to a fee. So those are the tips of like how to get started sourcing and inventory, and where to go about when you're starting your eBay journey and reselling journey. The next one we're going to touch on is the Goodwill bins. So we got how to start sourcing inventory. Now we're going to go deep dive into what these mean and how we can go about finding these sources to acquire more inventory. So the Goodwill outlet I touched on is not available to everyone in America. So you need to be aware of like how many are in my state. Is it a 2-hour drive, 5-hour drive? I've heard of people driving 8 hours just to go to a Goodwill outlet and load up for the week. So driving 4 hours, 6 hours is not out of the question if you can find a Goodwill outlet near you. And if you see here, Tennessee has like 4 or 5 Goodwill outlets, and then you can see Kentucky has none. So you got to be aware of like where are the Goodwill outlets by me, and where are the ones where they're getting the most turnaround. So my Goodwill outlet rotates their bins inside of their store every 30 minutes. So that means there's a constant flow of new product coming out. Some Goodwill outlets do not rotate their bins at all, and it's just first come first serve. So keep that in mind. You may have to do a little bit of research, but the Goodwill outlet's so great that you can get items for 50 cents to $1.50. It's pay by the pound, and usually it ranges between $1 to $2 per pound depending on where you're at. So you're able to really source inventory that you don't really regret purchasing because you paid $1 for it. You paid 50 cents for it. So add that to your way of sourcing. Start doing some due diligence and research. Even looking at the Google reviews of Goodwill outlets before you drive out there can tell you a lot of information on how frequent they rotate the bins and how clean it is and how big it is. So something to keep in mind when you're doing your research. Another one was posting Facebook ads. This is the one that really changed my business and really accelerated the growth. But you must be careful with buying in bulk because it could also wreck your business. So buying too much can be a good and a bad problem. Buying when you're really getting ready for winter, buying extra when you know that maybe you might not be able to get out sourcing as much, that's a different story. But buying product just to buy product can be the death of your business. So posting a Facebook ad is good if you are ready to buy inventory, and you need to be ready to buy people's inventory that may contact you through this ad, and they go, hey, I have 10 storage units full of new with tag clothing. Can you buy it? So you need to be ready for those opportunities before you post this ad. So maybe just post this ad in 1 or 2 groups to get started, and you can post them in local buy and sell groups. Joining local Facebook buy and sell groups, you're able to post this ad, not in all of them, but in most of them, saying like, we buy clothes, we buy electronics, whatever you're looking to niche down in, make an ad for it on Canva for free. And you can put this included brand list here that that people aren't going to be reaching out to you if it's probably not on the brand list. So it just helps ensure people that you're not looking to buy just anything. You're looking to buy this specific brands. So cash for clothes, we buy clothes, post those on local buy and sell groups. Here are some websites for storage unit auctions. I use Storage Treasures just because it has the most storage unit auctions available in my area. You can check them out and see what's available in your area. Type in your zip code and see what's going on. Like I said, a lot of the times these storage unit auctions are listed for $10 and they end for a $10 bid price. So you could find a lot of inventory for very cheap, but you will need to be ready to discard a lot of items or sort through a lot of items real fast. Otherwise, you'll be paying that 24-hour clean out fee, and as well as having to possibly rent out another storage unit just to hold the stuff so you're able to give yourself more time to sort through it. So another one is good is a liquidity service called Government Deals, Gov Deals. Check them out. A lot of times you could find workwear pants. You could find branded with a team's logo on it, and they're wholesaling those T-shirts out. You could find great stuff on here, but you really need to read the listing because some of the suppliers do not ship their items out. So keep that in mind. you could always arrange a deal with the seller to have a third party service ship those items to you. Or you could search and filter by state and location if you're willing to drive a couple hours to go and pick up these items. But I've seen brand new workwear pants sell for $5 each, and there's 500 of them new with tags. So you know what you're getting more when you're going through govdeals.com versus like buying an Amazon pallet or a Walmart return pallet. You just never know what you're going to get with those. So, storage unit auctions, check it out. And so the next one I just wanted to touch on was how to store your inventory. And hey, if you're getting value, smash the like button, subscribe, because this is my mission in life, is to help people getting started with reselling. Because if I continue to do eBay and not help people, that kills me inside, right? That kills me a little bit because I was a 9 to 5 employee for 20 years and I knew that I was born for more. I knew that if I just managed a little, I could run my own business. And along came eBay. I just wish I had the help to get started to really help speed up that process so I would eliminate mistakes. And I just want to continue and encourage people that if you're just getting started, don't worry. eBay's been up forever. You have all the time in the world, but let's make sure we get started on the right track, right? So this is why I do YouTube. This is why I want to help people get started on eBay, because that is my true deep passion in life, is helping people achieve their dreams and doing what they were born to do. You were born for more. So let's go. How to store your inventory. The bin system versus like a sequential system. So a bin system is like a numbered bin. Right here we have in front of you numbered bins. And this is a great way to start if you're just starting out and you don't know too much about how to store inventory. Start here. You can have a bin labeled A1, A2, A3, A4, and so on. And you can buy labels. I could show you here. These are the labels that I use. And you can buy labels, and basically, there we go. So you label each individual item. There we go. And you put them in A1, A2, A3. And then in the custom SKU section of your listing, you're able to put in whatever that SKU number is for the item you're listing, put them in one of these bins that you see here. And when someone goes to order it, you know exactly where your items are. And this is key because as you start to grow into the hundreds, 500 items, 1,000 items, it's going to be a little more tricky finding those items when they do come to order. Everyone starts with their inventory system on the floor, right? In a bucket, in a box. But as you expand, it's very important that you keep track of your custom SKUs so you know where items are. And this is a great way to get started. Though I do not recommend staying in this system because it will become harder and harder to find your items and take longer and longer to pull, pack, and ship if you stay in this bin system. But I would say if you have about 500 items or less, this is a great way to get started. The next way that I suggest that you start at, if you can have the resources to buy the boxes and just prepare doing this system, is the sequential system. So this system is a way to just sequentially have all your items in one row from 0 to 100, from 100 to 200, 200 to 300, and so forth. And they go in a sequential system way. It's consecutively from left to right, left to right. So, you know, this is the 100 to 200 section. This is the 300 to 400 section. And you're able to consolidate as you sell items through your store, continuing to make space for new inventory. So this is the system that I do recommend starting out if you are going all in on eBay, starting out with this sequential consecutive numerical system to be able to just get started on the right foot. But hey, if you don't want to learn about that and you don't want to do research about that, start in the bin system. That way you could just get going right away. And you can always transfer those items into this system as you go on eBay. So yeah, this is a great way to go. I mean, this is the best way. I mean, this is 4,000 or 5,000 items here, and it doesn't take up as much space as you would think. especially if it's like on racks like this. I mean, this is only 250 jackets, 4 rows, and it takes up 20% of the space in the shop. So like racks are great, similar system to this consecutive system, but you're able to really consolidate everything in a nice, you know, neat, organized manner. These are 8 by 8 by 32 boxes. You can find in the link in the description down below. And that's what I use. Simple, effective, and pretty decent price on those boxes as well. So, setting up dedicated areas for processing. This is foundational for your business. If you don't do this, it's going to really delay you as far as like your timing and how to go about things, setting up your photo station every time you need to take photos, setting up your shipping station every time you need to ship items out. That can take a lot of time and can really kill your momentum when you're first starting out. You got to dread, oh, I got to set up the photo station to take photos. If you have dedicated areas that are already set up, then you can hit the ground running. You flip the lights on and you start taking photos. You flip the lights on and you start shipping packages out. That's how we want it in our eBay business, a seamless, effective transition as we continue to work in and on our eBay business. And if you're needing a little bit of help on eBay and you don't know where to start, well, just for $1 a day, you could join my eBay coaching program. You can find it in the link down in the description below. I work with you for 5 hours a week via Zoom to really help you nail down a system and process that we could put in place, similar to the one that helped me reach over $100,000 in sales within my first year on eBay. I offer an eBay store review included with that coaching, and as well as a reseller template that can help you track a lot of your expenses, your mileage, and how much you're exactly making on eBay to really help. Whatever you measure can be tracked. And when you start measuring these analytics, you can really start to see what not to buy next time you go out and what to buy the next time you go out sourcing. So, getting that dialed in can really help you grow and accelerate your eBay business. So, I'd love to see you there and I'd love to work with you. Like I said, it is my true passion is helping people get started on eBay. So, next up is setting up those dedicated areas like a shipping station, a listing station, a photo station, an inventory station. All this is detrimental for your growth on eBay. So this is the listing substation. This is the listing space station right here. This is where I can effectively list my items after they are done being photographed. Everything is within just a few steps with me to be able to have a seamless process to really dominate on eBay. I'm not trying to just do eBay. I'm trying to dominate on eBay. I'm trying to outcompete everybody on eBay. I'm trying to really do the best that I can with the principles that eBay offers and really just execute, right? I'm not trying to do this for fun. I'm trying to build a business that offers quality. So let's put in place some processes, some dedicated stations, some dedicated areas that you know that you can expand off of. And having a listing station where I spend 3 to 6 hours a day, every day doing listings, I need to be able to have a sit stand desk. After the first year on eBay, my back was killing me because I didn't have a sit stand desk. Well, that $250 investment into a sit stand desk has helped me get more listings done in a shorter amount of time, save my back and neck so I can continue to work on eBay. So just those simple things you have to consider of like my listing station, where do I want it to be? And how can I have it so I can be as effective and as efficient as possible? So having that sit stand desk for me was key. It may be something else for you. Not everyone needs a sit stand desk, but doing that dedicated listing station is awesome. So keeping you more organized as well. So the photo station is the next thing. You know that you're going to have to take photos. If you want to list every day, you're going to have to take photos every day. Well, here is just the rough setup. We just moved into the warehouse, so I had to just set it up real quick. But on the left here, you can see this is the area where I take pictures of hats, shoes, bags, wallets, belts. And everything else here on the right is going to be more of a vertical flat lay for my t-shirts, sweaters, jeans, anything like that. And being able to have the proper lighting and everything set up, so I just go and work. I don't need to be able to have to set it up every time or switch the blanket out or set up the table. It's all ready to go. So having a little space in your closet or in your bathroom or somewhere where it can just be set up and ready, then you don't have to set up the table every time you have to take pictures, and it can really add to the procrastination of doing eBay. So that seamless project, right? Or that seamless project. So a shipping station, every time that you get orders and you need to ship stuff out, you have to have a dedicated station that is organized so it enables you to be able to print labels effectively, take measurements, take the weight of your item that you're wanting to ship out, and having all your poly bags and your priority boxes, everything ready to go, can speed up this whole process. You'll be able to ship out 100 packages in 2 hours. So this is key. Like, really getting the package from point A to point B is what we're trying to do. But how we can avoid mistakes is by being organized. And having an organized system will enable you to cut down on those mistakes and really be able to speed up your time when it comes to the shipping process. So I just got this set up. Nothing fancy, Rolo printer, simple scale off Amazon, and some other things that I use more frequently. This is just for clothing. It may differ from people who sell electronics and other items. But so having that is key for you to get started on eBay. And going back to like the inventory system is really how I make the picking and pooling process as quick as possible. If it was in the bin system, it would take a lot more time, and time I don't have. So I am really conscious of my time. I want to make sure that I can get eBay done within 4 to 6 hours, listing about 45 items a day. I don't want to spend too much more time than I need to because I have other responsibilities to tend to. So really having that organization down, the efficiency down, and all of that in your favor is really going to help you dominate on eBay. And that is my goal and my mission, is to help you dominate eBay. If that is something you've been wanting to do and get into reselling, I'm here for you. I can ask any questions down in the comment section down below, and I'd love to help you. So we do have some questions here that I want to answer. So Carlos says, if I'm a new eBay seller, what should I price everyday normal shirts that I'm ready to get rid of? So this is another huge thing, is like figuring out how to price my items. Like that's a very good thing that we need to master. And as you develop a brand list and as you get familiar with more of the brands you're picking up, let's say like a George button up. That's a Walmart brand, but sometimes people pick those up and that's okay. But how we can figure out what this sells for is really going to determine how long you want the item for. You can price a George button up t-shirt for $40 and it may never sell. Or you can price it at the median of the market or below the market and it will sell. See, sell through rate is going to determine on how long you have items sitting in your store. There's people with huge warehouses and have a sell through rate of 0.0001 and still make $100,000 a year. It's because they have the space to store the inventory. If you have less space, you're going to want items that have higher sell-through rates. So that is a big, broad question, but everyday normal shirts, you really have to go into the brand of the item. What is the brand? Let's just say it's a Quicksilver button-up t-shirt. So we need to see, what is Quicksilver button-up t-shirts selling for on eBay? How many are listed and how many are sold? And that's going to determine how long am I planning on keeping this item. The market determines everything. Supply and demand is the simple basic of economics. So what is the supply of Quicksilver button-up shirts and what is the demand? And that's going to tell you, this item is guaranteed to sell within the next 90 days, or maybe it's going to be more of a long tail item. And then you're able to sort from high to low on seeing what is the general average sale price of these Quicksilver button up shirts. So some people want all of the money some of the time, and most people want some of the money all of the time. You need to choose what is the business model that you're trying to achieve. And everyone has a different situation here. Some people can pick up George shirts and sit on them for 2 years. Some people have no time for that and have to go for those higher average sale price items. That is a great question. And I just say do your due diligence on the brands you are picking up before you buy them, because then you're able to know whether or not next time you go sourcing, okay, I know not to pick that up. That took 19 years to sell and I lost $400, you know? So you, you really want to know, like, hey, I picked that up last time. It sold in 45 days. Maybe I should consider picking up that brand again. So thank you, Carlos. Jared, wow, thank you for coming on. He goes, how many items can you get in a box on average? So the main boxes I use are medium flat rate box, and I do still have the regional rate A boxes that are going to be discontinued on eBay, but I do use those two boxes mainly for shoes and jackets. So it depends on what boxes you're using, but in a medium flat rate box, I ship all of my shoes and all of my jackets in. And you can usually fit about 3 to 5 sweaters in there if you really pack them down and fold the box. And if you use like a regional rate A box, I only had been using those for shoes. Medium flat rate box from USPS, you can fit boots in, you can fit pretty good size puffer jackets, and anything for multi quantity orders like 5 to 10 orders or more, I ship UPS ground. And I make sure I send the buyer an adjusted invoice on eBay so they don't expect it to be priority. So I can go ahead and just change the shipping service to UPS ground, and then it changes the estimated delivery date time, so you're not going to get dinged with a defect for a late shipment charge. um so storage boxes. Okay, so storage boxes, yeah. So Jared asks, how many items can you fit in a storage box? In these storage boxes here, they typically can hold between 20 and 30 items. I got the 8 by 8 by 32 to be able to hold a little bit more items. They make 8 by 8 by 30, pretty much any custom size you want. But I just chose these because I could fit a little more. So between 20 and 30 items, mainly t-shirts, sweaters, and pants, jeans, all go in this system. So if it's all jeans, it's probably only going to be about 20 to 25 items. But if it's all t-shirts, it could be 30 to 40 items. So it's kind of just the average is between 25 and 30 items. I do just recommend doing this system because you're able to fit more than you think in these boxes. And when it comes down to it, I think I pay between $2.50 per box, and shipped right to your door. Where the tubs can cost maybe $5 to $7 depending on where you're at. But hope that this was helpful for you. If you guys want to know exactly what is selling in our eBay store, you can check out this video here where it goes more in detail on the brands that we're actively searching for and that are selling right now in our eBay store. So I hope you all have a blessed day and take care.